You're listening to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex 45.
My name is TJ with Two Wheels and Coffee.
Man, what a race weekend.
And Silverstone is a pretty awesome track. And yeah, it has some great battles, man. Great battles for sure. Great weekend of racing.
Yeah. I gotta say, I feel bad for Joe Roberts.
Yeah, I mean, especially like what's at stake for what we intend to see. Um just leaving the points on the table, that's just tough. Tough blow. And for
Yeah.
him to go down is this tough.
I think the only saving grace is that Ayagura had a bad weekend as well. I think
Yeah.
that's the only saving grace.
What I was still trying to figure out his issue. Well, he was slipping down the pack throughout the race. He was just holding on. So I don't know if it was just grip issues or such, but he didn't have a good race either.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll find out as the week goes on, what it is. But it looked like it was some tire trouble of sorts, from what I can tell. Because unless he had mechanical, but then I assume he would have just pitted. I gotta assume it's something with tires, and it's unfortunate because he had the pace. But couldn't. It's unfortunate for him. Unfortunate for Joe Roberts because these guys are they're still fighting for the championship. So I think for them, they still got time. But Jake Dixon, man, he's I'm happy he won. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to pull it off. I feel bad for Canet because Canet's always second, which is not bad. I mean, it's better to be second and third, fourth, fifth, and down the list, down the line. So you think about that win by Jake Dixon?
Well, me and I like to see Aaron Canet try to pull it off. And man, right at the last lap, he just let Jake Dixon sneak in the corner and pull that off. And he could tell like the last two laps he was losing grip and losing drive and all that stuff. But you know, I think it was Dixon's home Grand Prix.
Yep.
So knowing what's at stake for him, especially being in second, he was on his tail pretty much for like the last 8 laps. So like he's just figuring them out at that point. So he took his shot and he got it. And man, proud of that guy, especially the celebration at the end.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I thought it was Carnival over in England. Almost, it was actually. I think Carnival is coming up at the end of the month out that way. But for you think about this, like Danny Kent was the last British rider to win the home Grand Prix, and I believe that might have been 2015, 13, maybe even further back. So it's hard for the British riders, the Australian riders, even the Asian riders, because with the Spanish riders and the Italian riders, they got a few Grand Prix in the year. So they got a couple of chances. They
Yeah.
get more chances to at least claim a home Grand Prix if it happens in their country, right? Much less down the street. So for Jake Dixon, I think with the struggles they had switching over from Olean to the WP suspension, and just crashing out last year and stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, honestly. So I was very excited for him. I think the British fans, not to say they needed it, it's good, right? Because the UK fans, they're big motorcycle people. You know what I'm saying? So for Jake to win it and win it the way he did, and that celebration, I mean, he had to have that celebration because it couldn't have been nothing quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Yeah, celebration is definitely epic. That will be shown for years. That was pretty cool, especially for winning the home Grand Prix. So I'm very excited for that guy, for sure. And yeah, he definitely put a hard fight in. And like I said, I'm sorry for Aaron Canet, but it's good to see him back. And still getting on the podium, but wish he got that first. That would have been his second. But you know,
On to the
and then
next
how
one.
about Darren Bender, coming down from 22nd place or 20 something like that.
Right.
And let's see, he finished sixth.
Yep. That was pretty impressive because, I think for Bender, going to MotoGP, not being successful there, coming back down to Moto 2, like Sam Lowe's, and then had to struggle, right? I mean, I think he had injuries last year and also, struggled as well. I think he's another rider that's on the WP suspension as well, I think. I could be wrong on that, but it's good to see him running up front. Well, not up front, but finishing sixth and able to come through. He didn't crash. I'm saying he's had some crashes the last rounds and stuff like that. So I'm happy to see that he's doing well. Hopefully that continues throughout the season because I am a fan of Darren Bender. When he was in Moto 3, he was a beast, and I don't think we've gotten a chance to see that yet. So that was a good ride for him. What do you think about Celestino Vietti as well? He got on the podium, another rider that struggled from the beginning of the season. And
Yeah.
not even sure if he has a seat for next year yet.
No, he's definitely riding well. A lot of riders went down, so for them, that long lap is like 2 minutes. For him to get on the podium is definitely a good stepping stone. Once you get there, like it gives you confidence going into the next round or next race. Especially like you're saying for Darren Bender, passing riders throughout the race gives you confidence. All right, you have certain things you can do. You know where you can be. So yeah, like finishing third for Vietti is like, all right, I know I can finish on the podium.
Right.
So going forward from here, that's what you expect, at least top five.
Yeah. No doubt. Diego Moreira. He crashed out, but for a rookie, man, he was up there until he crashed out, man. I was rooting for him too, man. We remember when Vinales said he was going to win the Moto 3. He didn't win it, but he definitely was a star in Moto 3. So to come up into Moto 2 and doing what he's doing so quickly, you look at Sergio Garcia. He struggled when he came into the rookie. I forget his teammate that came up as well. I can't even think of his name right now as well. And he struggled. So to see Diego did what he did. Unfortunately, he crashed out, but that's still going to give him a lot of confidence for the next rounds coming up.
Yeah, for sure. What we got? 10 rounds left. So got
That's it.
yeah, 8 days to go for the next round. So you can jump right back into it. You don't have to take a couple weeks off to regroup. You
Right.
can just regroup on the next track that's coming up and jump right on the bike. So that's a good feeling.
Yeah. So it's Ethan Guevara. He finished 20th, right? So for Diego, hopefully he'll continue and do well. The rumor mills still continue about who's going to MotoGP. It looks like Ayagura might be going to Aprilia instead of Joe Roberts, and which is it's a toss up, right? It's interesting to see too because I think that's a break from the Japanese riders not going into LCR or Indomichi Honda. So that'll be interesting to see what happens as he when he gets to MotoGP next year. What do you think? Do you think that Aprilia and Trackhouse missed out on not signing Joe Roberts?
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's a toss up.
Yeah, man, it is a little bit of a toss up. It's tough to tell. The only thing I can think of is when Joe Roberts had a chance to go to Aprilia with some other riders, and they elected not to go. because they didn't feel the Aprilia was a competitive bike. So it's interesting to see if, if that's the reason. It could be because some people hold things personal and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's Aprilia factory sitting here saying we're not going to sign Joe Roberts because he had the opportunity to come and he didn't. Kind of thing. Other than that, I can't see a reason because an American on American team overall makes sense to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's a toss up. And going along with what you just said, I mean, holding grudges, man, that's just not good at this stage. He's performing well. Uh, it's just perfect. It's a perfect fit, well, for us, what I'm saying. Like we're trying to grow the sport and obviously get more Americans over into the sport, and what a way to start to if someone don't know the sport, to see American team and be like, oh, that's American on there and so forth. But you know, like I said, it's a toss up when you say, yeah, it should be Joe Roberts, and then you see like when you base on what's going on now, you see like Igor was slipping out, so you're like, oh, he's not performing well. And then Joe Roberts crashed out, and you're like, all
Yeah.
right, so I mean, who is the right fit? But
Well,
I think it should be Joe Roberts.
yeah. And to continue along the rumor mill, it sounds like Joe Roberts is going to go to MotoGP, but it sounds like he's going to be out with Pramac on a Yamaha. So if it's to be true, he will get there, and who knows? Maybe the tide will turn. He doesn't necessarily need to be on an American team, but you look at you look at the Italians when they're on an Italian bike. You look at the Spanish when they're at their home Grand Prix and stuff like that. They take a lot of pride. When they're doing well and stuff like that. So I mean, just like sports or anything else, like the Olympics is going on right now. So it's all in good spirit, but nonetheless, we need more Americans in MotoGP.
Mm, yeah, but I can see if they sign a GP rider,
Right.
the American team, because you want to continue I want to say your legacy on a strong foot. But to sign a Moto2 rider, you have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, must have a grudge on Joe Roberts for what had happened.
Right.
And if Igor goes, I heard that I think Mario Soryu Aji, or is it I think going to um
Uh,
Phil and Taka? Was that who it was? I think.
yeah, it might be. I'm looking up the name now. Oh, really? So you're thinking, yeah. Oh,
I think that's what they
yeah.
said. I'm not sure.
Su Aja, yeah.
Yeah.
Indomishi Honda rider right now, Moto 2. So he might replace Taka Nakagami, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That'd be interesting. That'd be tough because like I was rooting for Taka Nakagami, and he
can you imagine
I
no
think
podiums?
yeah, it's unfortunate for him because he got to Honda in GP when the Honda started having problems. You know what I'm saying? The early stages of Honda problems. Marquez was able to ride around those problems until he couldn't. But a lot of the other riders started facing issues around that time. You know what I mean? And so for him, it's unfortunate. Hopefully, he'll get to World Superbike and find the podium there. You know what I mean? Because I think he's still a talented rider, and I think that it's just unfortunate that the bike isn't going well right now, and he's been on that bike now. Well, he's been with that team now for at least 7 years, something like that. So it's been a while.
I mean, there's some riders that have changed their teams like twice, 3 times. He's still on the team. I mean,
So
it's good for him, and I mean, like I said, he's representing the team. I understand why
yeah,
Joe Roberts can't go on Trackhouse, especially they switched over to being an American team. So
right. So talking about the switch, Enea Bastianini, man, clean sweep of the weekend. Did you see it coming?
absolutely not. Hey, but I must say, what we predicted, or I predicted, is that Pecco was going to jump out in front, and take advantage like he usually does on a GP race, which he did. But you can see he just didn't have enough. But what a ride from Bastianini for
Yeah.
sure.
We've been talking about him getting better grid position, and he got the better grid position, and we saw what happened. And I think if he continues to get the better grid position, it's going to be hard to beat this guy. And like I was saying before the summer break, this is going to be fuel for Martin and Bastianini for not getting the factory seat, and we're seeing it already. And Marquez, man, I don't think them guys gonna let him on the podium again.
He's gonna find his way, Mark.
Well,
You,
and
should,
that's
he- like,
and that's the thing.
you
He's
see, you see. Sorry,
go
you
ahead.
see what he did in the Ducati Challenge or whatever that was.
Championship, yeah. WDW.
Uh, he was in fourth in the last corner. He bumped out and got on the podium.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
found his way.
Oh yeah. It
He's
was
gonna find his
yeah. It was Bulaga, but it's still
Bulaga.
yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. And yeah. But that's the thing though. He has to play like that and ride like. Not to say a pass.
Yeah.
If you have space, you have to go for it. But I bring up just how he's looking for a toe in practice and stuff like that. And one of the reporters in the press conference asked Bastianini, "Do you think Ducati made a mistake?" He didn't answer the question to say yes or no. But you could tell these guys, if this continues, I'm already on record saying Bastianini should have got signed for another year or 2 years and stuff like that. And we saw what the 2024 GP can do versus the 23. And even though he was the fastest on was he the fastest on the, or was it the Gian Antonio? Let me see, what spot did he finish? But it might have been him or Gian Antonio who was the fastest. No, he was the fastest 2023. And before the 2023 was close to the 24, but now we're seeing like they got that 24 fine tuned, and we're seeing that pull away. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think for Martin and for Bastianini, it's in their mind. I think they think that Ducati made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Signing Marquez, and I think so as well. I know he's probably going to sell more bikes for them. But these guys were already, like I said before, even Marquez got to the team, they didn't really need the Marquez. You know what I'm saying? Ducati, is in the top 10. It's crazy, right? Top 10. You know what I'm saying? All one Aprilia, one KTM. You know what I mean? And so even if you took Marquez out of the equation, you still got the Gian Antonio, you still got Bagnaia, Martin, Bastianini, and Bezzecchi, which is another rider that probably could have stayed in the Ducati family if Marquez wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see how it plays out. I don't want to sit here and say Marquez is a talented rider and he's going to try to find a way to win. I'm not saying it's over, but there's a big difference that Bastianini and Martin have a chip on their shoulder. They are pissed. They have to be pissed. No way, right? Because Martin had a better record, was leading the championship. So it really is. And what happens if Bastianini or Martin wins the championship? You know what I'm saying?
Stomp their foot. I mean, I do know one thing is this track is, like I said, was much bigger, so Ducati can definitely stretch their legs, especially the 2024 bike. So I'm not sure if that's what Mark was, knowing that his bike was probably going to be a little bit slower, that he had to get a toe just to compete. I don't know, but I do know that I was a little against Bastianini for a while. I mean, you kept saying, "Yeah, man, he was hurt. He was hurt. Give him a chance." And I always wanted Martin to get that seat over him. When they gave it to Bastianini, it was like, "All right, we'll see. Give him time." Like he's finally seemed like he's woken up and knowing that he's just got to chase Pecco. He's proven twice already that he can pass Martin. So that's kind of like, all right, if you're in front of me, it's nothing to worry about. I can get you.
Yeah.
Like you said, now Mark's in the mix. So will he get on the podium? Because those are the three: Pecco, Bastianini, and Martin. That's is fighting for this championship for real,
Yeah,
And I think Ducati made a mistake. I think they should have kept Bastianini, at least. But we'll see.
we will see. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I think Mark is gonna, from the fan purpose, because again, I don't know, Ducati's not calling me and talking to me about what's going on the back end, but from a fan perspective, it's gonna be a fan of Ducati. It's gonna be really hard uh, to not be voicing your opinion to in dislike if Marquez is not on the podium soon. Because again, it is one of those things where like you see these guys are riding Bastianini and Martin, and numbers wise, I mean, look, like I said, Marquez came out and he did enough. He did enough to convince them, obviously, in those 7 rounds. But still, you know what I mean? It's going to be very difficult if he doesn't start winning and getting on the podium and stuff like that. And also, I think for Ducati, it's kind of like if these guys finish in front of him, you know, what do you know what I'm saying? Are you going to say you made a mistake, or are you going to just sit here and say it doesn't matter? Because, you know what I'm saying? It has to from a little bit because, like I said, the Ducati machine, as far as winning, they didn't need Mark Marquez to do that.
Definitely not. No.
You know what I mean? I don't want to keep beating, it's not a dead horse, but, it was interesting to see. And when you talked about, Martin, Bastianini showing that Martin, he can pass Martin, right? Marquez and Bastianini are one of the few riders that show they can come from the back and get to the front. Pecco has to get to the front on the first lap. Martin has to get to the front on the first lap. These are guys that sit here and say, nah, I'll see you the second half of the race. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's the only thing I can see with Marquez, like, because he can come from the back and come through, and not everyone can do that on the MotoGP bikes, and that's impressive. But you don't always want to do that.
That's one thing I really haven't seen Pecco do. When he's in the back of the pack, he usually will finish there. I've never seen him start way in the back and charge to the front
Right.
as of yet. It's usually in the front. He'll crash out and usually will win, or if he's in the front. But if he's in the back, he's like, I don't know. Even when the sprint, when he was in the back, he was charging to the front. He crashed out. So
Right.
like, I don't know his strengths of pulling, from the back to the front throughout the race. Like you said, like Mark Marquez has proven, and other riders have proven. So, but
And
yeah, it was an amazing race for sure.
I agree. I was listening to some other podcast, and some people thought it was a boring race, and I'm looking at it like I don't know what they're looking for entertainment. If you're looking at a soccer game and the score is low, it usually means it's a really good game. If you're looking at baseball and the score is low, it usually means it's a good game. It's boring because nobody's hitting the home runs. You know what I'm saying? But it
Right.
means that, people are playing. If football, low scoring game, good defense, right? So, sometimes like the passing, like it's entertaining at times. Don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. But you look where with Digia and Alex Marquez, right, passing them each other back and forth, losing time
They
until
lose so much.
Digia was finally like, yo, just follow me. So, you know, yeah, it's cool to see the passing. Don't get me wrong, and all that stuff. But if you're gonna pass and keep going, it's great. If you're passing and you're slowing each other down, and you're getting other riders to catch up to you, I don't know if that's always entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Because so it's interesting to see it. I think this season is one of the best seasons so far in MotoGP. I was entertained with all of the races. Moto 3 was ridiculous. Moto 2, what they're doing now with the celebrations and stuff like that. It's on a different level. So, what more can you ask for?
No, I actually, especially for some reason, it's just the layout of the tracks, like each week how it's gone so far. It just makes it real entertaining. I don't know. I mean, I know they kind of do the same tracks every year, kind of repeated like after another,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been switched around just a little bit. But I feel like just the layout and the way the summer break happened, and I feel like it's just entertaining,
Right. So
especially what tracks are left. So it's just one of those. Like I can't wait. You still got Red Bull Ring. You still got uh, Valencia. You
Mazzano,
still got Mazzano. There's still some great tracks left. There will be a lot of fights to happen out there. So
right? You got
if they want
Motegi.
to say this one was boring, they got to stay tuned.
I think so as well. You still got Australia coming up at the end of the year as well. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of fun tracks. I mean, they're all tracks that I like when I play the video game.
Yep.
So and the Red Bull Ring is a track that Ducati does well at. So we'll see. I do think that um, it's Ducati's to lose. Obviously, I mean those guys are all the guys, all the top guys are on Ducatis right now. So I'm definitely looking for the rounds and just to see what's going with the entertainment, with all the different things that's going on in MotoGP right now. I'm very excited to see what happens, and I'm looking forward to the next round. Any predictions as far as who you think's going to is it going to be Marquez, Bastianini, Martin, and Bagnaia?
So we are at the Red Bull Ring next round. Um, Mark Marquez loves this track too. So
Yes, he does.
um, if he needs to get on the podium, this is his chance to, I don't want to say get redemption, but to redeem himself and to help him going forward for the rest of the season. Is to do good at this track. So I think he'll get on the podium. Now it's hard to say with these four in the front: Bastianini, Martin, Pecco, and Marquez. You know, I want to see another rider in the mix, like Brad Bender. Somebody like Digi
Yeah,
or Aleix or Maverick. Somebody different besides these four. But I would definitely say Mark Marquez will probably be up there. Pecco and I want to say Bastianini.
yeah.
I want to say Martin probably going to get disturbed again.
He's riding better because I think walking away two second places is the best you can do to save to take back the lead and to hold on to the lead. I think that I think he's riding better than the first half of the season, and this is only one race after, but you can see his demeanor. He's carrying himself differently, and maybe he's just straight pissed. Who knows? Yeah, I mean the closest other riders would be Vinales and Acosta. They're in fifth and sixth place. And they're the ones that I mean, Vinales is down 100 points, 111 points. Vinales is down 111 points, and what Acosta's down, I think 119 or something like that. So for those two riders, it's going to be very hard. Those two riders are going to have a tough time catching, even catching up front. So any other rider even below that is going to be difficult. So I mean, I think we would have to see something where the Martin, Bastianini, Bagnaia make a lot of mistakes or get hurt or something like that, and they usually don't make a lot of mistakes. So it's going to be if they just gotta if they finish the top four, it's going to be hard for some of these guys to catch them.
Hey, do you remember what was it 2 years ago when it was a flag to flag and Brad Binder stayed out on slicks?
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So
Listen, man, it's
I'm,
so
I'm shooting for something like that. I need a new winner, but yeah. So
no, for sure, anything can happen. So definitely looking forward to it. Can't wait. My name is Rex45. I want to shout out the sponsors. Workbench Technology. Go to Workbench Tech. B4evaKool.com. Check us out. We're giving away merch and stuff like that. So definitely go to B4evaKool.com. Go to HamdenYard.com as well. And then if you need parts, all gas products. Go to allgasproducts.com. We have a 10% discount code, B4ever10. Get your discount. Shout out your sponsors, man.
J&G Performance, official Vortex, uh, our Hideaway RV Rentals and Woodcraft Technologies always supporting me. I appreciate you guys that get my discounts and help support getting to the track and all that good stuff.
Right.
Make sure I sleep well.
Definitely. And keep it locked onto the show. We have some giveaways coming up in September. We're going to be talking about it in the next couple of weeks. Very excited about that. Can't wait to tell you guys about that. I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing and commenting, and please continue to do that. Every subscription helps, every comment helps, every like helps. We like to figure out and learn as we go and do this thing. My name is Rex 45.
My name is TJ, 2 Wheels and Coffee.
Peace.
Peace.